Oh, I heard you calling me. The podcast must be starting.
Yes.
Right on time.
Right on time.
Sorry we're late. Welcome back. Very A podcast. Sean and Cass. Back at it again.
Mm-hmm.
We're up here in the Catskills
Yes.
of upstate New York.
We came here last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we did a podcast from here last year.
I was trying to remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But this was our midweek getaway.
This is our mid-fall, midweek Molly getaway retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'll be our once-a-year tradition. It's funny because we have a house in Seattle that we first did acid in, and we always rent that same house when we go there. And we keep charging that place up with, like, memories. It's almost like we have a home out in Seattle because we rent the same little house that we first did acid in.
Well, we're creatures of comfort.
Yeah.
And I think once you get to know how to use a record player in an Airbnb, you know where things are in relationship to it. You're like, okay, it's a home away from home.
Yeah, totally.
Very grateful for that.
Yeah. Very grateful for Molly. I'm looking forward to taking it.
Yeah, me too. It's been a few months.
Yeah. We've only done it once this year. We did it last October, and then we did it mid-July, and now it seems like time again. I don't know. Mid to late November.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could do it like once a year, but we're like, fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be fun, but, like, it's weird. Like, it'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be amazing, but, like, I don't have to take it at all. Like,
I don't either.
It's weird.
We don't have to do
I
this.
used to be like that. I used to be, like, with Molly a little bit more like, yo, it's time to do it. We should do that. And now I'm kind of like, we don't have to if we don't want to.
Yeah, but it's like, why would you not want to?
Why would you not want to? Yeah,
I mean,
especially we got it so dialed in. We know how to do it.
Yeah, when you don't have the supplements and you're all crazy, you could end up having like a slingshot effect. But I feel like we're dialing it in. And we say one for us and one for like community building.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
No, that's a good way of doing it. Like, this is the, like, couples therapy.
Which usually ends up just being our own therapy with ourselves because we don't really do couples therapy.
Yeah.
Every time we do drugs, we're like, I don't even think about you.
You know, I don't even think about you. And I know. I'm not like this. This is
like not. There's nothing to think about.
I'm more concerned about my relationship with myself than my relationship with you.
Yeah, me too.
Is that like an obvious statement?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
You don't think it's obvious? It feels counterintuitive.
Well,
I'm much more concerned with the way that I'm treating myself than the way we're treating each other. We're good.
We're good to each other.
Yeah,
it's
we're
easy
good.
to be good to each other. It's like because I love you and I'm attracted to you, and like you don't have that same thing for yourself. You're
Right.
like you try to be like, you got this, Cass. You got it. You're good. You're good. You got it.
You try. It's
you
hard.
try. You're like, you got this.
Yeah.
But with you, I'm like, he's got it. Like I know he's got it. I don't even have to give you a pep talk. I'm like, he's got it.
Oh yeah. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your desire. Yeah. Yeah. Cultivating that towards yourself is really where it's at.
So when you think about having a better relationship with yourself, if there's anything in particular you think of?
Oh no, just the continuance of like, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like I'm always in a process of like getting better at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so natural with another person when like we share a life together.
Well, you can also blame them for like 50% of how it goes down.
Yeah.
Like it's beyond my control.
Yeah. She's fucking crazy. Yeah. I just want to, be having, you know me, I'm a renunciate. Like, so I'm like, I can say like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore, or I'm not going to do this anymore, or I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. So that's all part of the conversation you're kind of having with your being. I am being Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a human being, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a body, but I'm not my body. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I was looking in the mirror like I'm sure I was on a little bit of drugs, but nothing crazy. I was like looking at my eyes and I was like, you're in there. you're in there. And then I was just like piercing into my eyes and like seeing past the meat suit.
Yeah.
Like, you're in there. You're in there.
But
You're in this
but what are
body.
you? But like, what, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't
when we say
know.
we have a body, what are we even saying?
I don't know, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know what we're saying.
It's really, I know it sounds like quintessential stoner or whatever, but like, I don't know, certain times, certain phrases go through my head that have gone through my head a million other times, and all of a sudden you hear it differently, and you're like, wait, why do we say it like that? Doesn't that kind of give the game away?
But we are our body too. Like, I am.
Yeah, temporarily.
Yeah.
Very temporarily. And this thing, it's just like, just keeps doing its thing.
I will say I can reflect on like, being in a place where I'm like, I do have a better inner monologue
Than what you used to have.
Yeah, my inner monologue has improved like drastically.
Mm-hmm.
There was something in particular I was thinking of that I was like, oh, I used to overthink this thing. I'm like, I don't even know if I could overthink right now if I tried. Because like I've trained myself to not think my thoughts are that important.
I think that partly has to do with being in the kind of relationship we're in. And like, there's nowhere to hide.
Well, and you can see when I'm thinking, and you're like, yes, you're thinking too much. I'm like, okay, sorry.
I know.
You come up to my forehead and like,
I'm just like, smooth it out. Let's just like smooth sailing. Look, and the only reason I do that is because it looks like you're stuck in a realm that's not as cool as just like the present moment.
Yeah.
Look,
Not.
when either one of us gets stuck in a realm where it's like, it's good shit here, that's one thing. Let the person do their thing. But you're usually not sitting there like frowning if you're in a place that's more pleasurable in your head than this reality.
Yeah. Well, and pleasure feels like indulgent, even that word, to like be pleasure. So you feel like, oh, it's like I'm being a good human if I'm worrying and I'm making myself suffer like with discipline, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not like that.
Yeah, I don't even know how you ended up like that either, because it doesn't feel like your parents are like that, and you didn't come up with religion. So I'm like, where does this come from?
The worrying?
Yeah. Like,
know.
that's more productive than pleasure. Or judging your life through a lens of productivity.
Honestly, like, I'm not alone in this. It's probably
I
like
know
there's
that.
been some cultural thing. My grandmother was like rocked by the Great Depression. She was always labeled a worrier, but I think also being a producer is like, it's your job to kind of think ahead, a couple steps ahead. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did you end up like you not worrying, you know? Like, how did that happen?
Where's it gotten me? Where did it ever get anyone?
I don't know. Did you ever worry?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. There's probably some there's probably some great case study about this. Like, people that are kind of like
Anxious?
in a traumatizing scenario. I don't know. It might be more mellow, but like I don't know. It just was like, it was so constant that escaping to the future was not something. I don't know. I don't know how I ended up like this.
You know, I think the way I really ended up like this is because I don't think I was like this until I met you. Like, almost you brought my worry out. And I think part of it had to do with like the 7-year gap in our relationship and like trying to be at your level when it comes to like our careers and stuff like that. Like, I think I'm not blaming you for my worry, but I think I became more a worrier under your watch, and then you had to like unworry me. But I think there is something to feeling like 7 years behind you, you know? Not like you're doing a lifestyle that I can't keep up with, but you know, taking on responsibility that might be I'm not prepared for or something like that.
Yeah, definitely I wasn't prepared for. We took it on together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess, you know, like, I grew up and I would see my dad abuse drugs, and I'd be like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an alcoholic or drug abuser or whatever. And I am a drug abuser, but I am not an alcoholic. But I like different drugs than my dad. But basically, I saw him indulge in the wrong kinds of drugs, and I was like, duly noted, don't do that. And then I saw him become like an anxious person. And it's because the present moment was never a safe, comfortable place for him. So, and I saw what it kind of, what it's done to his quality of life. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to end up like that. So whatever disciplines I need to have to keep me from ending up like that, I'll do.
Yeah, but
and it's just simple.
What do you mean? It's simple.
Just fucking exercise and meditate and eat right and try to get good sleep. Take a goddamn cold shower.
Well, I think there's something to getting sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
That you like almost have to take it to the edge.
Yeah.
Like I worried so much to the point where like there is like a rock bottom of worrying.
Yeah.
You know, where you worry so much that you make yourself sick, or you worry so much that you're incapacitated.
You spun yourself into like chronic issues. You were starting to...
I was having panic attacks.
You were having panic attacks. You were having other weird bodily stuff. Like it was just like, it was...
But I'm just, it almost is
like... It was like a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah. No, but I think there is, you have to get bored with your, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's literally just what I'm doing is not working for me. And a lot of times you're not going to make the change in your life until you get to that point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
That's what they say in AA. As soon as you get there, that's what many people's story is.
Is that where sick and tired comes from, AA?
Yeah, I mean, probably a lot of stuff that I just throw out there has its roots in little AA keychains and stuff like that. Yeah. Let go, let God.
Yeah, I love that one.
Because we had all this stuff because, like, for a while I was coming up, my dad was in the program, and it was really good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, we were talking about this yesterday, like becoming a better person. I think that one of the things that helps you become a better person is being in service. So a lot of times people will have kids and they'll be like, whoa, I feel like I'm a good person for the first time in my life. So it's very fulfilling. And the same thing can happen when you when you turn towards recovery and you're deep enough in your recovery that you can help other people. I think that helps you become a better person is when you're there for people who aren't as strong as you are right now. I think that's a good demarcation of what being a good person is all about, at least for me. The way I try to do it is like, I try to be the motherfucker that like I wish I had.
Yeah.
You know, I wish somebody would have given me advice, or just talk to me like a human being when I was first coming up in my industry. Like I wish somebody like I had people that like gave me jobs and stuff, but like I wish I had known another filmmaker. I really wish I'd known somebody that wasn't just out there trying to feed their family, but like that was like, no, I care about this craft. I care about this art form. I care about this way of expressing ourselves. I think this is an important medium, and we're the torchbearers of our generation. Like I wish I had somebody like that. So I try to be like that for the young ones. It's really hard for me to turn away somebody who's like, can I pick your brain about such and such? I'm like, of course. Like, I wish I had that person.
I wish I had Mike Tyson being like, we're nothing.
You're nothing. Dead. I'm already dead. I'm dust. We're dust. We're nothing. So yeah, that's the way I try to do it. Without the easy out of having a kid, convincing myself like, cool, I'm part of the human race. Is helping other motherfuckers out.
We had a moment where we're just like, wait, is that the path to become a better person? And I'm like, I can't believe it, because so many people who have kids don't necessarily become what I would say, like, a lot of them do become models of society, but some of them don't, and there's no guarantee. It's like what you do with this time that you evolve.
Yeah, I mean, some people have kids and completely fucking lose the narrative, and, it sucks. You lose sense of yourself. You're traumatized by it. And you lose track of yourself, and you're not sleeping, and your focus is fucking all over the place. So.
Yeah, I like it because I feel like we have like these little moments where it's like, where I feel like I'm having family time with you, and just you and me. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is our family. This is our family time, and it comes in like doing the stuff that like a kid makes you do, which like, we're gonna put on a record and just dance around.
Yeah.
It's like, I think a kid can inspire that in a lot of people of like slowing down to be in the moment. But I think that you and I are like, okay, let's do this together.
We're already very oriented towards like these moments, this life. Everything's pretty fleeting.
Yeah.
And let's get while the getting's good. Like we really dig each other.
Yeah.
We're so lucky. Like we like listening to the same music.
Well, we had to have a moment the other day because, with the election, it's like, are you not scared? And it's like, dude, we were scared like 10 years ago. Like, what do you mean? Like, I think we're more scared than you are. We just have like decided what we're going to do with our fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing when people are like, they're offended you're not joining them and being fearful. And it's like, oh no, you should be looking to us as like strong. We're like a beacon of strength. Like we're not aware of what's going on. I'm very aware of it.
You do enough. You do a early acid trip and you learn about singularity or whatever, and you're like, oh, we're
experience the singularity.
And you see AI 10 years before it comes down the pipe, and you're just like, there's big things to be scared about.
You're like, oh, this, yeah, this was all a dream I had at one point.
No, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. There's like, I think it makes sense to be concerned or whatever, but it's like, we're just already doing what we would do with the concern, like going towards family, deepening our relationships, trying to be more present, try to be less wasteful. Like we're trying to do all these things that we've been trying to do for a while. I wish there was
well, what it does, like I don't know, like like there was a big presidential election, and in this country it's like someone's going to start running for president like a year and a half from now for the next cycle. Jeez. So these are long build up of a thing. And if you're paying attention, you could start to take this shit very seriously. The media certainly wants you to. And and your friends and neighbors a lot of times want you to, because it's a major topic of conversation.
But it's okay also if it is serious. It is a serious thing. But it's like we kind of have to have a conversation with ourselves about like, what do you do in the face of serious things?
Yeah.
I don't mean to undo what you were trying to say.
I can't remember what I was saying.
Well, you were saying that there's a build-up if, like, we're already going to be starting.
Oh, so this build-up happens, and then it's like, well, one of two things is going to happen. Either this person's going to win or this person's going to win. It seems like half the country's, like, up in arms about, like, this 50-50 thing, like, didn't go their way. And I know it can trigger an immune system response. Like I said on the last podcast, like, we had people out in pussy hats to start Trump's first thing, and we had people out like protesting the George Floyd stuff to end Trump's first term. I don't know. It's eliciting the same kind of response in me, but it has nothing to do with like getting out in the streets and this and that. It has to do with like, okay, let's be drinking out of plastic from now on. Or let's try to not be drinking out of plastic. Let's try, let's be making the small steps that we can, because no one's protecting us. Help ain't on the way. And we have to figure out what we have to do for ourselves to survive in
I think a lot of people,
when your government doesn't give a fuck about you and in fact want you dead.
I think a lot of people who are the party of personal responsibility are going to be very uncomfortable with the amount of personal responsibility that is going to need to be taken on.
Yeah, I think there's going to be stuff like that. But like, I get it. Everyone's having a reaction, and of course you're going to. This was like a 2-year in the making thing. This was more than that. I mean, how long have we been scared of Trump now? Since we first got him out of there. So.
Well, it's also not going to stop being scary. Like, everyone's very scared about the appointments, and then wait till the appointments actually get in office, and wait till he's actually inaugurated, and wait till, like, every day is going to be something insane.
Every day.
And I'm not saying to that, like, oh, it's all good, man. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, like, you got to figure out what you're going to be doing for it, and be wise about what those things are, whether it's what's important to you in your life, because it should not just be letting media narratives take you on a ride, Like, go in and through your fear. Just be like, I'm scared, but just go all the way through it. So not every day is like a new trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And think of the people around you. Again, I don't know. I just don't want to, like part of my religion is one of the top 10 commandments is don't harsh the mellow. If someone's not fucking upset, like, what are you going to try to get them to be fucking pissed off or upset or enraged or outraged? Enraged or outraged?
For 5 seconds when it was such like a mandate, you know, I was like, maybe everyone knows something I don't know. Like, I just had this moment of optimism for a second. I was like, and then, you know,
like, is Trump the man? Like, am I like,
crazy?
I just like, I thought he was a fucking asshole my whole life. I stopped paying attention to him like 4 or 8 years ago.
People really have
is he the man?
faith in this guy. And then I'm like, no.
He gets in there for 1 second. It's like, oh, you're a fucking clown. You're owned by everybody just as much as anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, but I wouldn't go around harshing the mellow.
What does that mean to you? What does even that mean? Don't harsh the mellow.
It's like you're saying, like, Trump gets in there and you're like, hey, maybe there's something I missed out on. Maybe there's something I could learn from. Maybe, but hey, if someone else is chill, I defer to the chill. That's what I do. That's what I mean. So harshing the mellow would be like, I'm not chill, but you seem to be. Can you join me in this? Oh, you're not going. And I do this to you all the time. I'm like, Cass, can you just give me a second? Can you just get upset with me? Can we just be upset about this thing together? And what I'm doing right there is harshing the mellow.
Totally. You are someone who harshes the mellow sometimes.
Yeah, it's only really with you though. I hate to say it. I really, really, really hate to say that. Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely, I'm definitely been found guilty of that many times. But I hate it, and I judge myself for doing it, so I try not to be that kind of person out in society.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the memes about, what is that quote? If you give the people bread in circuses, they'll never revolt.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I mean, it's not mine. It's a famous quote. But,
I've never heard that.
I think we got the circuses, we got the Tyson Paul fight, we get every sports thing possible, we got the Kardashians. Like, we have so many circuses, and the problem right now is, like, we can't afford the bread.
Few people can. Yeah, that Mike Tyson thing, Tyson fighting that YouTube guy, Jake Paul. That was like, oh my God, we're an empire in decline. Look at this. This is like, it was like a parody. It felt so Trump era. It felt very.
Yeah, when the girls came out doing like the
Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are out there, and like everybody's getting all excited, and they're showing like a dead-eyed Charlize Theron, who was obviously forced to be there because she has some movie on Netflix. And then it's like, oh, here's another dead-eyed celebrity. Like, a week after fucking Trump got into office, and they're all being held at gunpoint to go to this fucking fake boxing match. It was just the whole thing was just like a sad display. It starts at 8 p.m. It doesn't end till 1 a.m. They have nothing to say. They didn't hire like professional announcers. They have Rosie Perez doing it. Like, no one knows what they're talking about. Just dead air left and right. Like, the stream kept going down. I was like, this is fucking America.
This is America.
This is what it's all about.
Look at it.
Look at us. Look at us. Is the whole world watching? I hope they are. You want to watch a 27-year-old have a fake boxing match with a 58-year-old and hope one of them knocks the other one out?
Even if it's a real boxing match, like, God, it's the brutality. You got to look at it, though, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for everybody. I can handle it sometimes. Weirdly, I can handle it sometimes, and other times I can't. Like, I think I already had decided in my head, like, this is a fake fight. No one's going to get hurt in this. There's
I thought it was
way
real.
too much on the line for anyone to actually get hurt.
You know how I can't trust myself? You know how I know I can't trust myself or gamble is I was like, sure. I was like, Mike Tyson is going to kill Jake Paul.
Yeah. You were worried. Like, this had
really
nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with anything.
Like,
You saw that this fight got announced. You saw a clip of Mike Tyson training, and you were like, they need to call this off.
But I think the beautiful thing about the fight is, like, we're all going to be Mike Tyson one day, you know? Or like 58 or 68 or what? How old is he? 58?
Yeah.
We're all going to be older and, like, literally just knocked off balance, you know? Mm-hmm. It's coming for all of us.
Yeah.
Like, there's no getting around it. Doesn't matter if you were, like, the best fighter in your day. Like, some younger fighter could be not as good, and he'll just knock you down.
Yeah, I know. It's just because he's younger.
It's just because he's younger.
He's got that
especially in combat sports. But.
Yeah. I mean, and, like, look, you didn't grow up watching Mike Tyson the way I did. If you think that was brutal, what you watched, Mike Tyson's fights were like, they were savage. And he was fighting against other guys like his age, weight class, supposed skill level, and he would decimate them. You know, we'd buy a pay-per-view and the whole family would come over to watch it and it'd be over in 30 seconds. We do the whole thing now because the fight doesn't come on till 11:30 at night. So, like, the whole family's over. Everybody's yawning and tired, and whatever, the fight finally starts, and it's 30 seconds.
Well, that's probably what everybody wanted.
In a way, it's so exciting. Like, Mike Tyson just walking down to the ring by himself with a hole in a towel over him. It just a drone sound going down to the ring was probably the most intimidating thing in all of sports. It's crazy. It was insane. You knew what he was going to do. You were scared for the opponent. Like, you were like worried about what might go on here, and then it would happen right away. Like, these guys would get in there and, like, they were world champions, and they'd be scared shitless of this fucking total pit bull of a human being. And now he's 58, and he's like fucking munching on mushrooms and smoking toad and, like, trying to have, like, a spiritual, humble, psychedelic life. It's like he's living the other side of what the first half of his life was all about, which was like excess and violence and women and cocaine and sexual assault and prison and all this stuff. And, like, it's kind of crazy that he's kind of come to represent, like, the opposite.
Yeah, I was thinking
I don't know. I don't want to speak for women, but, like, to me, he seems like he represents almost the exact opposite of what he was for the first 35 years.
It's interesting because it's like, I don't think it's celebrating rapists. I think people don't care. Like, and you see a lot of people, like our president, who's accused of sexual assault and all this stuff.
Convicted.
Be president. Everyone's like, he's my savior. He's Jesus Christ, whatever. I don't personally get that. But I feel like what I do believe in is, like, people's ability to, like, no matter what they do, to be given second chances, to recuperate, to be given the opportunity to be a better person, to be part of society.
Atonement.
At
one-ment.
Yeah.
Let them be at one with us again.
Yeah.
Atone. Let them atone. And to me, it's the best, most commendable thing when we could do that as a society. But when we don't do it, like, kind of like when we're like, fine, we'll let this guy who's been accused of sexual assault and served prison time, we'll welcome him back. This other guy, because Mike Tyson is like, he's atoned. He said, I'm sorry. He's spoken to all of this stuff. He's talked about how he's changed and why he's changed, and we know his story inside and out. And then you got these other guys who are, like, credibly accused, convicted, the whole deal, and they won't acknowledge it. They won't say sorry or whatever. And we're fully, like, we embrace them.
Well, did you have a
It's confusing.
Did you have a moment when RFK's, like, gets, like, whatever, that you're like, whoa, he might actually have some power, and then maybe that vision, I think it's an artist named Stella, I forget her full name, but she did the vision of, you could just look it up, Trump and Putin doing an ayahuasca or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, maybe this will happen, you know? But then you see a picture later of RFK eating McDonald's, and you're like, I don't know why anyone had hope for even 3 seconds.
Well, we were, that was like one of the things I was like, well, RFK might get put in charge of some shit. We might find out what the hell's going on.
It goes back to, like, when RFK said, I support Trump, I'm like, he's a dope because he's not going to be able to do anything. I guess time will tell. We'll see what happens.
We'll see, but they already got him eating McDonald's.
So it's over.
And even if they don't, like this, there's a photo of it's like Don Jr., Donald Trump, RFK, and Elon Musk on a plane after the UFC fight eating McDonald's. And like, so even if RFK didn't do it, they still staged it to make it look like he was. So they're fucking with the motherfucker either way. Yeah. Somebody is fucking with him.
Yeah.
I don't know who's doing or what they're up to, but they're messing with this guy's credibility, and what little credibility he still has to do with that he eats right and that like he resists all this pharmaceutical crap and like fucking that's McDonald's and Coca-Cola. There's McDonald's and Coke sitting in front of him, and it's just like, dude, who got to you? How did this happen already?
Well, it seems very intentional, and it's hilarious. 'Cause
yeah.
You realize we elected a top dog who doesn't give a fuck about anybody.
None of them do.
None of them do.
What, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. We don't even need to talk about this.
Well, you wanted to knit during this podcast, and
no, it's okay.
Your mind is all over the place. So you're like, I'll pull us right back into politics. I'm like, we already did this. I feel like we talked about it last week, so we didn't have to talk about it for 4 years.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. No, what we were talking about, though, is like being about like kind of processing your grief or fear or whatever it is, and then just having an empowered perspective through that. You know what I mean?
Well, the empowered perspective, I think, comes from having a good night, from being around people, from knowing the world isn't over. Like, we went to Cosm this weekend, and we went to the full moon gathering. It was so nice to be in a space that just didn't seem to be affected by or charged by politics. It just felt impervious to the whole thing. Like one person kind of brought it up, like, hey, we got to be good to each other right now. But she was old, like she was a boomer. I was like, this is boomer brain. They think about this. Like, everybody was there to not talk about it and not think about it and just share space with each other and admire art and talk about our psychedelic experiences and bond.
I think there's like things about taking value out of like what happened. Like, if you thought he wasn't going to win and he won, like, look at what you consumed.
Look at what you consumed. They led you
astray.
They really did. If it wasn't obvious that Trump was going to win for the past 4 years,
and it wasn't obvious,
your news people did you wrong,
or even your algorithm or whatever it is. And so the beautiful thing for me is like, I know that Reddit's skewed. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like not interested in looking at it in the same way, because I'm like, oh, I'm just getting led into some weird astray. Yeah. Like, right. I'm just trying to like bring it back home, bring it back here.
Yeah.
That's why I took up knitting, because I'm like, all right.
Oh, you're like, oh, Reddit's leading me astray. Well, I don't want to do it anymore. It's kind of like when boomers find out that 2 glasses of wine every day isn't good for them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, wait, what? Okay, well, shit. Well, I was always told that weird propaganda that came from the alcohol industry.
Yeah, and for me, it's like when I can't even tell you the times that I've banned Reddit on my phone, which has been actually very successful. But I can't tell you the amount of days and times I'll type Reddit into my phone, like out of habit. And it's like, you can't access this website. I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to anyway.
Wow. And so it works. Like,
the first week, I went like a week without looking at Reddit. I look at it on my computer. It's not like I've totally banned myself from Reddit. I just have like more intentional time with it.
Yeah.
And then like a weekend, I realized that you could just press allow website real quick and then just like be back. And I did that, and then I went right into
so back.
I went so back into like a Reddit hole, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna ban the website again. Mm-hmm. And I did, and it's been successful since then.
Wow. You have a whole different way of operating than me.
And I deleted Instagram off my phone, which is great. I can still look at Instagram, but it's on my computer. And the truth is, I don't miss it. But there's the habit. That's why I took up knitting, because it's like, I said this to your dad, your idle hands are the devil's playground.
It's good. I mean, I see the way you like, I feel like you never quite go as hard as me. So you never really have to go as soft as me. So, like, you play this whole other middle game that I'm unaware of just like, oh, no, I'm addicted to Instagram. I'm going to delete it. Oh, God, I'm going to download it again. Oh, they fucking got the best of me. I'm back. Oh, no. Like, to me, I go so hard. I'm like, I'm a fucking hopeless Twitter addict. I'm deleting this right now. And I never think about it again.
Yeah, but you've had Instagram in your life through all my quits.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're like a step ahead of me in recognizing it, but like when I do it, I do it. When you do it, it's like a year-long process of like playing around with the idea of like, do I want this or don't? I'm allowed to have things. Why can't I have things that I like looking at on my phone? I'll download it, unblock,
My
allow.
friends are on there.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, like I came to the day I came to the conclusion I don't want to do Twitter anymore. I deleted it. I'm coming to the conclusion I don't want to do Instagram anymore, but I still have some joyful moments on there. So
I think you should get it off
I
your
haven't
phone.
come to the conclusion yet, but I think I'm going to not have this
I think you
be
should
part
get
of
it
2025.
I think you should get it off your phone because I think you don't even realize how often you look at it.
Oh, I know.
And that it's like a you don't do what are those like kiwi strawberry nicotine pouches?
Zins.
No, not even Zins. Like a vape.
A little booster.
A little vape. That's kind of how it is. It's like you're putting your little pacifier in. But that's like what Instagram is. It's like, oh, I'm a little stressed. Oh, let me go into my happy place where there's colors and friends. And
all it is.
I can learn about health stuff.
And all it is pugs and then people saying like, everything you're doing is poison. And I'm like, all right. I'm like taking notes. I'm trying to fucking figure out how to like craft my life around something that an algorithm has determined that I want to hear and feel. It's insane. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, I think there's a taking the power back that happens.
Yeah.
But I'm not a renunciate like you. So I'm like, I do want to have Instagram. I just don't have a healthy relationship with it on my phone.
You think you're ever going to?
On my phone?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
it's the scrolling. It's like literally the hand motions. It's like the scrolling. It's
it's the putting it,
yeah,
taking the cigarette out, putting it up your lips, and lighting the thing,
Yeah, and it's like, okay, if I was like, all right, at the end of the night, I'm gonna smoke a pipe with my, whatever.
I'm gonna get high as fuck on this Instagram. Instead of like, I'm gonna smoke a bong of this Instagram instead of like just like cornering bowls all day.
Yeah. And then when I go to do the bong hit at the end of the night, I'm like,
you feel sick. You're I hate this.
I go a couple nights where I feel sick because I get it all at once, and I'm like, okay, that's too much. So then now when I go to it, I'm like, I scroll a little bit on my computer, and I'm like, that's enough. I've had enough. Next.
I know this sounds like an addict justifying their behavior, but like, what about the people that like I only talk to on there?
You should have it on your phone, a computer. You can message them on your computer.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You look at your computer all day, every day. It's not like you don't have access to it.
Well, it'll be, I like this idea because it's like, it's signed in on my computer. I could still fucking go crazy and IV this drug all day, every day. But when I'm away from
I'm just saying the IV
computer
on your computer is a bit of a different experience than in your palm of your hand.
Totally.
Like, I'm really good, and I'm hesitant to even say this, but I'm never scrolling when I'm passenger. And I find, as much as I love you, that I'm like, okay, we're on a long drive and you're scrolling, bro. And I don't do this to you.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. But, as the guy that does most of the driving, when I'm not driving every now and then, I'm like, okay.
I don't even mind. I'm just saying for your sake, like for your health, because you're like,
for my wonderment.
I need to feel bored sometimes. I'm like, well, you don't give yourself the chance if you are scrolling. Like scrolling cures boredom, but that's not something you want to cure.
Yeah, I know that.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for this lesson.
You're welcome.
It's deeply appreciated. It's very deep. It's very deep.
My deep lessons.
Yeah. Quit the things that are controlling your life. Deprogram.
It's that easy.
I mean,
I'm joking.
It is. I have to deprogram from the sense that is any kind of connection.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is like I'm like, oh, but what about the people I only talk to on there? Well, if I quit that app and they don't translate into my day-to-day life, then they weren't really my friend to begin with. They're someone that like we knew about each other, and I want to have a kind of deeper, more memorable, meaningful relationships and conversations than that is the truth. So
I think it's good that we can be digitally connected, and that's what's great about Discord and email and phone numbers. And it's not like being digitally connected is the enemy, but it's like I think you sacrifice real relationships for superficial relationships when it's in like a universe that's like fed to you that is also complete with advertisements and algorithms and that sort of stuff. As like, as much as you wish for yourself to not be on Instagram, don't you wish for the person you're talking to not be spending so much time on Instagram too?
Absolutely.
So it's like, take your conversation out of Instagram. Just be like, here's my phone number. Let's text. Let's sext.
Let's sext.
Sext me, bro.
We should be sexting, bro.
It's okay. We're going to have this conversation into oblivion. We've been having this conversation for a long time. I do feel like I've made some good progress, and I'm happy to report.
Well, you know, you want to see how we handle it? You want to hand me this bag? We could show off our analog life.
Yes.
Here's what we do when we're coming on a Molly retreat. That has the reason we rented this place is because it has a sauna and a record player. And they have nice records here.
Yeah.
They do have some good records.
I'm obsessed with
here.
getting this George Michael record that is supposedly like the most popular record, and I should be able to find it anywhere, but I can't find it anywhere because no one wants to sell it because it's the crappiest record. And I'm like, but I love it.
We go to record stores and I say, Cass, don't embarrass me. and she knows what to do. She'll like hold up Leonard Skinner's greatest hits from across a record store and be like, Sean, can we get this? And I'm like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Yes, we can get it, but like, don't, please, come on.
Please.
So yeah, your pursuit of George Michael's first solo record, which is one of the top selling albums of all time, is always, I'm always like, can you just deal with, just go up to the guy in the counter.
I went to a vinyl, we went to like a vinyl record store day at like this VFW hall. And I'm like going around and he's like, he had like a $1 bin or whatever. And I was like, you got this George Michael record? And he's like, well, if I did, it'd be in the $1 bin because it's, you know. And I'm like, yeah, but dude, have you listened to it? Because it's great.
It's actually a pretty good song.
There's got to be other things in life that's happened to where they've been so ubiquitous and popular that no one saved it and then they become rare.
Ooh, interesting.
You know?
Well, it's a thing with baseball cards, for sure.
Yeah, everyone's like, I don't need this Yogi Berra. Everybody has Yogi Berra.
Yeah, exactly. And then
all
years later, it becomes like, hey, did anyone
save that?
Did anyone like do a nice thing and preserve that thing?
Yeah.
It happens with vinyl all the time. But we brought a stack of records up here. Should we show them off?
If you think it would be interesting.
I don't know. It's more interesting than telling me to quit Instagram. What the fuck you want me to say? The more interesting half of our weekly transmission will be on the Patreon because we'll be doing it in the afterglow of our Molly trip. We're gonna leave this set up and we're gonna, whenever we feel like during the Molly, hop back on and give you guys a little part two.
And I'll apologize.
Yeah, we'll both be profusely apologetic for
everything we've said and done.
Everything we've said and done for the last 363 episodes. No, we'll be doing that on patreon.com/churchofchill. There's lots of fun stuff going on there, including my music curation. But one of the records we bought, look at this.
I don't think anyone can tell what that is.
Violent Femmes, first album, self-titled on Slash Records, 1983, original pressing, pristine, beautiful.
That's an unrequited love album, I think.
This is a big unrequited love album. Yeah. I mean, and it plays like a greatest hits album, maybe unlike any record I can think of off the top of my head. Like, what other album by a band plays more like a greatest hits than Violent Femmes' first album?
That's a good question. I'm sure there are other ones that do.
Well, this would be my submission.
Okay.
Leave it in the comments if you can think of a better one.
Yeah.
I'll think of others.
I'll think of others. That J.J. Cale song is...
we'll get there.
Okay. You have that.
Mac DeMarco's first album, Rock and Roll Nightclub. Loved Mac DeMarco from the second I first heard this.
That's a good one for like, he's not really in the rotation.
No.
But like
but we're going to be taking Molly.
And just like put on an album and be in his vibe. Because it's such a distinct vibe that you almost don't want to just like have a Mac DeMarco song come on as much as you want to be like, let's listen to the album.
Now you're getting it, yes.
Or let's go to the show.
And this one has like a couple like really weird like fake FM radio interludes. So, yeah. It kind of plays like you're listening to the radio and fun. So, grab that one. Peter Tosh, Captured Live. Fucking incredible. There is side 2 of this one really gets me. But this is one of my favorite live records. I put it on all the time, and it's like good reggae jam music. Side 2 is really where it's at. Cover of Johnny Be Good. Then you have Equal Rights, and then it ends with like this 12-minute version of Rastafari Rastafari is one of my favorite songs that we have in general on our huge vinyl collection. What about this? Shuggy Otis, Freedom Flight.
Well, because what is it, Strawberry Number 23 or something?
Yeah, Strawberry Letter 23.
Yeah, Strawberry Letter 23.
You wanted to hear that song. You're going to want to hear that song. You already know.
That's my Molly song.
Yeah, definitely.
I was supposed to be like, let's put it on a repeat. I wish there was a repeat option on the record player.
Yeah, totally. But you just say, hey, let's listen to that whole side again.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Really good stuff. This is a classic album. Strawberry Letter 23 is a song everybody knows, but they should also get down with Ice Cold Daydream, Sweet Thing, Freedom Flight. Roy Ayers' Ubiquity, Change Up the Groove. Great, beautiful instrumental music.
The memory I have is that I saw that album and I thought it was beautiful, and we got it, and it was a great album.
This was literally purchased. I know Roy Ayers' Ubiquity, so I already knew what I didn't know this album, but you picked it out based on the album cover, and I was like, well, I know Roy Ayers, let's check it out, and this became one of our favorite things. Really cool. He does the MASH theme on here too. It's cool. Stevie Wonder plays on this. It's fucking amazing. This might be up there with the Violent Femmes one. Stone Roses' first album. It's kind of just like just good essential Manchester music. Good essential 80s, 90s Britpop. Amazing. This could be one of those like plays like a fucking greatest hits. Not quite on the level of Violent Femmes, but
you're already competing with yourself.
No, but this fucking album is such a banger. Spacemen 3 Recurring. This is like just this. Now we're just in drug music. This is what this is. They made this music on drugs, for drugs, by drugs. I brought our whole collection of Can records. This might be one of our most valuable 4 records too.
We're slowly but surely putting all our records
we're starting to
Discogs.
log them on Discogs.
And our record collection that we've put in like 50 records is worth between $400 and $8,000 or something like that.
So we have all these records by Can. I have Soon Over Babaluma. They're all fucking awesome. I got Future Days, love that one. Flow Motion, Soundtrack, they're all awesome. Shakedown Street by Grateful Dead.
That was my request. And there's a song on there, Paris, that...
France.
France, sorry.
Underrated Dead song.
Underrated Dead song that I really like.
Some Deadheads hate it.
So I know, and I really like it though, and that's why I wanted to bring that album.
Way down in the south of France.
Because you really only hear it when we play that vinyl.
It's like, this is like Disco Dead, yacht rock-esque. Good stuff. Here's another cast find. Old and in the Way.
That's my first record to find ever.
Yeah. 1975 original pressing. I can't believe you found this.
I went into a record store being like, I want to get my favorite song, which is Wild Horses by Old and in the Way, and then I found it right away, and I hadn't even recognized that album cover.
Jerry Garcia's Bluegrass Band. If you're not into Old and in the Way, get on it. There's not actually that much to go through, unfortunately. Butthole Surfers, we have their whole collection, but I thought for this occasion, Rembrandt Pussy Horse. You can't go wrong with Rembrandt Pussy Horse.
A friend asked us the other day, where would you time travel to if you could time travel to any
concert?
And we both were like, Butthole Surfers.
Butthole Surfers, 1986, Austin, Texas. Everyone thought we were weird. I don't know what they thought we were going to say.
We had an answer, though.
But we both, we're both like, it's Butthole Surfers for both of us. The Ween Chocolate and Cheese reissue with the second disc of demos. That'll be fun. We'll get into that. This is what we're going to be listening to while we trip Molly. Maybe this will be towards the end of the ceremony. Leonard Cohen, Old Skin for the old, New Skin for the Old Ceremony. Fucking incredible record. Starts with Is This What You Wanted? Then into Chelsea Hotel number 2. Lover, Lover, Lover. There Is a War is on here. Who by Fire? Take This Longing. Really, really essential Leonard Cohen. Here's what you were talking about before. J.J. Cale.
Very solid.
This one's called Naturally.
Late night album.
Yep.
Great vibe.
He's more famous for people having covered him
That's
than,
what I
than
like
these
to play.
originals.
That's what I like to play for the girls.
You play this for the girls?
Yeah, late night.
Yeah. For the babes, or?
Yeah, the babes.
This is one of Cass's. If Cass ever puts this on around you, she's trying to seduce you.
No, I've already seduced you. Now you're just
Yeah,
enjoying the vibe.
Now you're in on it. Yeah, side 1, Call Me the Breeze. Classic. Leonard Skinner does that song. Magnolia, real tearjerker. Crazy Mama, After Midnight. Damn. After Midnight. Jerry Garcia Band does the best version ever of that. Keene College, 1980. But a couple Talking Heads records, which they actually had both these records here already, but can't get too much of that. I've been loving this one in particular lately. Talking Heads album, Little Creatures. This is probably my favorite one right now. I always am switching, but side 2 on Little Creatures, side B, starts with Stay Up Late, great song. Then Walk It Down is my new fucking jam. Followed by a 6 minute 10 second version of Television Man. Spin that, and then it ends with Road to Nowhere.
Television Man.
I forgot. We did bring another Butthole Surfers. Little Hairway to Steven. Essential. Remember this guy?
Yeah, I think you held that up for Caitlin, and you were like, "Remember this? You know this guy?"
I like to hold this up to my sister and get her confused.
She's like, "Huh?
Huh? Yeah, one of the best albums ever. Love Forever Changes. There's really nothing else you could say about that other than like this is top 15 albums of all time.
It's a good vinyl album too. There's like quintessential because it just feels like that sounds like you should only be listening to those songs on vinyl anyway.
Yes, yeah.
You know?
That's well put. Meat Puppets, Dusty Notes. This is one of their more recent albums. This is so good. I just stumbled across this one the other day, and it was the find of my day. And then, I've been loving it ever since. Again, especially side B. I don't know what's up with me and side Bs. The stakes are a little lower. And usually on old records, side B sounds better. I don't know why. I think they got fucked with a little bit less. Van Morrison, Tupelo Honey. Recorded in Woodstock. Recorded out in California, but written in Woodstock, New York in 1968. Awesome record. And then 2 by Tom Verlaine, formerly of the band Television.
Yeah, I really enjoyed those because you were like, pick out a few records you want to bring. And I picked those out because we've been enjoying them so thoroughly lately.
Yeah. Yeah. He made really, really special guitar music it's just like uniquely him. And you can, it takes a lot, I feel like, to distinguish yourself on guitar. And he's one of those players. Especially of the CBGB's punk rock era. Him and Television, just fucking incredible.
Well, it's cool when you can have because a lot of people, their voice can be like, oh, you know their voice from a mile away. But it's cool when you can do that with like a guitar tone.
Yeah.
And the Violent Femmes have that too. Like just their sound is so distinct.
Yeah. Yeah. The bass sound.
Yeah, the bass sound, exactly.
So you're a knitter.
Sorry.
What's up?
This is the I'm making you a My Girlfriend Loves Me scarf. Because it's probably not the prettiest stitch, but it's the first stitch you learn, and I'll just make a whole scarf for you. And
I think this
you're gonna love it.
I think this scarf should be called the Devil's Playground. Idle hands at the Devil's Playground. There was probably a time when like knitting first hit the market that like people were like, you need to stop.
Yeah, you need to be making dinner.
You
need to be taking care of the kids.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You just sit there and knit all the time. You're obsessed. You have to stop.
Are you gonna say that to me soon?
No,
No,
I'm
because I
just
can do
saying,
most
like,
of our activities while knitting. Also,
knitting back in the day was Instagram.
yeah, totally. But at the end of it, you'd have something.
Yes. You'd have something to show for your life. Yeah, yeah. That's a fear of mine too, is like, like fucking becoming so addicted over time that you end up having nothing to fucking show for yourself for your life.
Yeah, well,
You give it away.
the whole world wants you in an algorithm. You are the product. Are you
Mm.
going to be the product? And what kind of product are you going to be? Are you going to be a complacent product who just shows up and is a good sells all your data and just like gives it up for free and lets them know all your proclivities? Or are you going to be writing your own path, making something, connecting people? I don't know.
A programmer get programmed.
Yeah, that's what Rushkoff says. Program or get programmed.
Yeah, totally. There's a good episode of we only listened to the beginning, but Douglas Rushkoff was on Duncan Trussell's podcast. We love Douglas Rushkoff. We've had actually Duncan and Douglas both on our podcast, not together. That would be a cool episode. But yeah, they were future tripping.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little. It can be very concerning.
Yeah, but I think it's like same with politics or everything. It's like, yeah, be concerned, go all the way into your concern, and then decide how you're going to live your life, and then do that.
Well, but this is me doing that. I'm concerned that I've decided how to live my life, and that it's going to be in a way that it's going to be harder and harder to find the others.
Well, then when you do, they'll be that much more special.
I'm with you on that, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's enough podcasting, right?
I was just checking to see where we're at.
I'm just gonna I'll take one more rip here.
And see if any great ideas come to you.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that, but sure, yeah, maybe.
Any wise insights?
I think I have a wise insight.
Okay.
Do you know where algorithm got its name?
No.
Well, remember who invented the internet?
Algorithm?
Yeah.
No. Who invented the internet?
Al Gore.
Al Gore invented the internet?
That's what he used to claim.
That's like me saying I invented the electric toothbrush.
Pretty much, yeah. No, there's clips of him that got used in smear ads against him back in the 2000 presidential campaign.
Oh,
he said, when I invented the internet. So, yeah, there's a dad joke that I just came up with.
Well, that's anytime you say when we discovered weed or when we discovered mushrooms, I'm like, we didn't discover weed. We didn't discover mushrooms. They discovered us.
Oh, shit.
But because you'll be like, oh, in 2014 when we discovered mushrooms, I'm like, mushrooms had been discovered.
That's true. That's true. To me, it felt like they hadn't. That was definitely like the Columbus of mushrooms for sure. I was just like rolling up all fucking syphilis out on some foreign land being like, did I invent this? Did I start mushrooms?
I did have a mushroom trip that made me look at my iPhone and be like, I invented all these apps. Oh my God.
Well, in a weird way you did. That's the thing. When you have those trips and you're like, wow, I'm really tripping. What the fuck? My mind's playing tricks on me. But then it's like, you could sit there and think about it deep enough and be like, in a way I did invent this. In a way, I'm in the idea for it all.
That's why you also can't extract yourself from the problems of the world. You are the problem of the world. Mm. You're not on the other side. We are like, you aren't in traffic. You are traffic.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in a fucked world. You're fucking our world. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. We're like all participating in a way, and we think that we can kind of convince ourselves like we're innocent or good people or whatever it is, but like we're collectively in this place of this is where we're at. And we got to look at it and we got to take personal responsibility for it, I guess. I don't know.
This is where we're at.
This is where we're at. We're not taking our planet seriously. We're not taking our brothers and sisters seriously. And we got to come together.
Yeah.
Be more loving, kind, generous.
Yeah. And it's like, it's crazy because sometimes, the solution in a world that seems as fucked as it is not like, hey, we all need to do more. It's like, maybe we all need to do less.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Maybe if we could just figure out a way to like
Do less, not need to
not
do.
have to travel as far to do things, not to, like, and this world, like, I don't know, just maybe doing a little less could serve a lot of people and a lot of our mental health and help us harmonize a little bit better.
Yeah, you don't need that new thing. You have it, and if you looked in your closet, it's there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You always have a new thing. What are you kidding me?
But I bought this in 2008, 2007.
That's true. Yeah, you were like, I'm not going to try to go find a new hobby. I'm going to dig up one of my old ones that I left abandoned in a closet.
Instagram did get me with that little carving thing, though.
Yeah. You had to get that.
I had to get it.
You got a little engraver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm doing it. And I did. I engraved a little maraca for you.
Yeah.
A little shaker. Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I got. It's okay.
We're all getting got.
Mm-hmm.
Got while the getting's good.
Well, hopefully we'll see you guys later on our Patreon.
Yeah.
For our heart-centered, heart flow Molly afterglow. If we have our wits about us to get on there and our spirits are bright, we'll see what happens. But that's the intention.
Yeah. I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll drink a little more water.
We'll drink some water. We have some supplements.
There was a supplement we're supposed to take like 3 hours beforehand or something. Forgot. Fuck.
We'll take it when we get off this. Won't be too late. Cool.
All right. Thanks for hanging with us.
Patreon.com/churchofchill.
Peace, love, and magic, y'all.